Welcome back. Well, we did it. We've been on a Disney cruise.
I can't believe it.
It's still very surreal. We've been back for about a month now, and we want to get to all of your questions and do a little recap. How was the brand new Disney Wish? I want to start off by saying this was a preview cruise. So things are a little different now the past month of sailings. This was right before the maiden voyage, but it was included in the inaugural sailings, as you saw from all the merch that I got. Link that haul up in the eye down below if you missed it. So this was our first ever Disney cruise. We were invited by Disney for my radio show, which was amazing. Thank you again to Disney. Should we just dive into the questions and then be honest, put whatever you want to say in, because we've got a lot to talk about. So the first thing, we got this a lot. Did you get sick on the ship, and do you feel it rocking? No. Did not get sick on the ship, which was amazing because in Walt Disney World I was very nauseous, so I was very scared. I brought C-bands, didn't have to use them. You felt it at times, but not enough where you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, no to the seasickness, yes to the moving. You do feel it moving, especially in bathrooms.
Oh my gosh,
anytime you're in a space that's completely enclosed, with no windows or anything, you definitely feel it a lot. And a lot of times at dinner, depending on where you're sitting, we happen to always be at like the far end, and you would feel it moving a lot there.
At the Frozen restaurant, we were at the very front of the ship, and man, you felt it.
Yes. But they do have a lot of stabilizers and a lot of technology in place to really help you not feel it move as much.
And I think when it was moving, like there were some times where we were just like walking in the Grand Hall and I'm like, do you feel it? And you were like, no. So it's not noticeable where everyone feels it. But you're right, the bathroom. And then I will say, when we got off at Castaway, or even when we went to Walt Disney World after, you still felt it, especially in the bathroom.
Sea legs are a real thing.
I had heard about that, but I didn't believe it. But Castaway was rough. We were like, oh my god, we felt like we were moving more on Castaway than on the actual ship.
I felt moving a lot more when I was off the ship. Even for like a day or two after, I felt like I was moving still. So I definitely felt it moving more off the ship than on the ship.
I would completely agree. Now, we do know some people that were on the ship that did get a little bit of sickness. I don't know if they're really prone to motion sickness though. But like you went on Guardians and you didn't get sick like 2 days before the ship. So I don't know if that helps you at all. Would you go on the Wish again? How about another Disney cruise? Yes.
Absolutely. Yes to both.
Yes. We missed so much on the Wish. It was so funny because some of my coworkers went with us and we were talking about it when I went back to work, and he's like, oh, the Pluto thing and the Zootopia thing, and I was like, what are you talking about? So we actually missed a lot of things.
I feel like there's a lot that we didn't get to do too because you were working, and so there are experiences that we didn't have. So going on it again, absolutely, because there's still so much to do.
And not everything was ready either. Like we didn't get to see Aladdin. There's a stage in the Grand Hall, which we only had seen like characters on there for meet and greets, but there's actually shows throughout the day that were not ready for our voyage. But so there's still a lot to do on that particular ship, and it's massive, you guys. It is massive. But you're right, we did like work from like the morning to early afternoon, so like those hours we didn't get to do like relaxing or exploring, but we did get other incredible opportunities, which all those vlogs, by the way, I'm gonna leave in the description box below, because incredible things. What moment made each of you cry the most?
Oh, that's not even fair. Okay, I think though it really was just walking onto the ship.
That was definitely a very emotional thing because it felt like, is this really happening? We had waited for it for so long. I think though for me it's kind of a tie. I mean, I cried getting on the ship, but I cried with the whole like Goofy thing. Like Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, and then Goofy coming over in his sailor outfit to where I was broadcasting, and this was like beyond a dream of mine to broadcast on the ship. So I think for me that was the but like that's not going to happen for everybody. That and Jodie Benson singing like this close to us.
I mean, I did cry at both of those, but I think really for me it was just like being on the ship, like walking on and being like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This is real.
Well, I think even when we saw the Mickey ears that you walk into, I was like, oh my god. Like it was very surreal. We got a lot of questions about the food, which I would just like to say my sister is the champ. She out-ate all of us. I have a coworker with the word big in his name, and she out-ate him every night.
I'm proud of it.
Yes. So what was your favorite appetizer, entree, and dessert? Did you try the chicken tenders, and what was your favorite restaurant all around? We didn't try the chicken tenders, fun fact. And it's funny because in the Marvel restaurant, Paul Rudd even makes a comment about try the chicken tenders. They'll change your life. I've heard about them. We just didn't have time to do that. So, favorite appetizer. And you were like the queen of the apps. And I had
like every single appetizer on every
Even menu. On my menu too, because I had a special allergy menu. And like, it's funny because in the clip on the vlog where I'm ordering every appetizer, half of those weren't for me.
They were for me.
I just want to point out they were for her. Fun fact.
I think it is actually going to be the ahi tuna. 1923.
That was really good.
But very surprisingly, I think it was Sven's carrot soup, frozen.
Okay. I don't even remember.
Probably one of my favorites.
You were like double fisting soups.
I was, and that I think was one of my favorites.
Wow.
It might even outdo the tuna.
Yeah. See, it's so hard to remember like 1923 because that was the first night, so I feel like so much happened after that.
I will also say too that I am at a disadvantage because really it could have been the ceviche.
Oh, I didn't include all that in the vlog. There was an issue. So they definitely in the restaurants were not fully ready.
Yes.
So my sister, I forced her to watch all the Marvel movies last year. It was a thing, if you guys remember, from ranking the movies. We did that last year, right? It wasn't this year. So there was Infinity Stone popcorn on the ceviche.
Yes.
And she's like, I know what Infinity Stones are.
Right.
I'm gonna get it.
And I'm like, the whole point of this restaurant is the theming, so I want to see the theming, because that's part of the magic of Disney.
Sure.
And I'm not going to go into a long rant here, because it could turn into a long rant.
It was very entertaining, guys, just to say that.
But I didn't get my meal complete, and I was missing the Infinity Stone popcorn. There's definitely a lot of kinks that needed to be worked out.
But now I will say, Patrick, my coworker Patrick, he wasn't sitting with us, and he got the ceviche, and the popcorn was the way it was, and he said it was his favorite thing he ate the entire cruise. Yes. So I think it was also like a mixture of who we got as a waiter, and you get the same waiter every night, versus like, was it fully ready? Right. I don't know.
So I would definitely go back and try that now that it's fully ready, because I've heard amazing things about it, and unfortunately I just didn't get the same experience.
Yeah.
But I will say that the appetizers, I think, were my favorite part of every meal.
I would actually happen to agree with you. I'm trying to think. I think I have a tie between two with my appetizers. Why I did really like the ahi tuna too. I think whatever that meatball was in Arendelle with the potatoes and the carrot. Oh, it was so good. That and I really like the pot stickers at the Marvel restaurant too. I think those were on only my menu. Yeah, so they were really good. Okay, so that's appetizer. But I will say all the appetizers at Arendelle, I think they won for me with appetizers, honestly. They were so good. They had so many.
Yes.
For entree, I think we probably have the same, 1923, that filet. That was one of the best entrees I've had in my entire life.
It's no question that meal was the best.
And I think we all got it at the table too, right? And we were all like, that was it. And I got steak every night. That was hands down in a league of its own. It really was. Dessert, key lime, the quantum key lime pie for me at Worlds of Marvel. I'm just a really big key lime pie fan. Although, honestly, all the desserts I had were good, but I think the key lime pie stood out for me. But I wasn't I was not feeling great on this cruise, and I didn't push myself with eating, so I didn't have full desserts, but I think I had the most of the key lime.
I liked the desserts at 1923. There was like a cheesecake. I'm trying to remember. It was like an apple cheesecake, and it was really good. The cheesecake at Marvel, even though I didn't eat it when we were in the restaurant, I had it at the broadcast. That was really good.
I forgot about that. And it was sitting out for a while too when you ate it. So if it's still delicious, that's a good sign.
And then
I forgot about that.
Arendelle, there was a chocolate log thing. I can't remember what it's called now. But that was really good. The other desserts were weak there.
I really appreciated there, and a lot of you guys reached out to me. I had a dairy-free ice cream, and that was the first time I had ice cream in like over a decade, so that was really cool. How was ice cream on the ship, by the way? The ship in Castaway. You had free ice cream.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't take full advantage of everything every day. But the soft serve, I got banana soft serve. And I swirled it with strawberry. So strawberry banana soft serve was amazing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then on Castaway, it was kind of hard to eat it because it was melting quicker than like as it's coming out, it's melting. So, but it was delicious. It's soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, because every time I was like, "Do you want free ice cream?" She's like, "Yes, I would." Favorite restaurant all around? 1923. I know that's not going to be everyone's answer.
No competition.
So just like the theming of it, and oh god, it's just classic Disney company. And we had like the Little Mermaid area. Yeah. So and we loved it so much we went back for breakfast the next morning, which was awesome. But I will also say that I really love Marvel. So Worlds of Marvel was really cool, and I think the clips, and you can't deny the clips. Paul Rudd,
absolutely
on
hysterical
point. And I hate to say it, but I think out of the past couple of Marvel releases, I think I liked the footage in the restaurant better than some of the movies and TV shows.
So for me personally, it was 1923 all around. I think the other two restaurants focused too much on the show and not enough on the food.
Right.
So that probably has changed now since they've had a couple of sailings since then. So for me, it was 1923 because they did it 100% correct.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
So the other two restaurants, especially Arendelle, was having some technical sound issues.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I love Frozen, guys. My bathroom is themed Frozen. I'm still very much on the Frozen wagon. I loved that it was character dining. You see Anna and Elsa a lot. You never see Kristoff.
Right.
You never see Oaken.
Right.
And him coming to the table going, yoo-hoo, was a highlight of my life. The Olaf, the interactive Olaf, like that was really cool. You can't deny the performers were good. It was the sound.
The sound was awful.
I think they were tweaking the speakers that night, and it killed me because there was a violinist.
It was rough.
Playing Into the Unknown, which was amazing, and I felt bad because it was peaking at times. Now, I feel like I know this because I'm in work with sound and in radio. To the average person, they might not. I don't know, but I think they fixed it now. It was very well done. Like I would love to see it now with it all tweaked. And I know people that were on that cruise that cried multiple times in that restaurant. She cried because she doesn't do Frozen, so they'll let it go sing along.
Oh goodness!
She genuinely was not having it.
Nightmare.
How was your stateroom? Loved it.
It was great.
We do a full tour on the vlog. I'll link that up in the eye down below. We were I definitely had the more comfortable bed. I had the big one, and it was the most comfortable bed I've ever slept in my life. How was it sleeping on that? It wasn't necessarily a pull-out because you didn't pull it out.
It was like a flip-down bed.
Yeah.
It was comfortable. I think the boat rocked me to sleep within 30 seconds, so it was fine.
Yeah.
I was so tired it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was very comfortable, and our stateroom host was
amazing.
Awesome.
I was fully expecting it to be a very small room, which is smaller than the other rooms we stayed in on that trip. But for the two of us, it was great. And the bathrooms, Patrick was joking. He's like, you guys ready to shower in the toilet?
I mean, I think on a normal cruise ship that is how it is, but on this,
the way they did it was very well done.
It worked out really well for us.
Yeah, and the fact that they have a bathtub for families, I think, well done, Disney. Yeah. But we weren't in the room all that much, so it was really to sleep, pack, freak out about what we were wearing.
And that was about it. I know, we didn't even sit on the balcony at all. There was so much that we didn't do. It was just, we were very pressed for time. So.
But I was impressed by the room. Was the ship handicap accessible? So, it wasn't really something I thought about on the cruise. We did see a couple of wheelchairs. The elevators are very narrow. They're deep, but they're very narrow. So, even if you're everyone can walk in the elevator and there's nothing wrong, you have to get out to let people off because it's two. So I think it's a little bit harder for a wheelchair, but we rode the elevator with a couple of wheelchairs. And
I did overhear one interaction. I was standing outside the bathroom area, and there was a woman coming out on an ECV. Right, that's the a woman was coming out on an electric wheelchair, and she had her friend with her, and she turned to her friend and said, "I don't know what I would do if you weren't here." Because especially in the bathrooms, all of the doors, they're it's like a room. Doors. It's like a regular door with you turn the handle. It's a room. There's no stalls. So for her on the scooter, she wouldn't really have been able to get into the bathroom.
Wow.
So that was something I was like, I don't even know if there are handicap accessible bathrooms, because within the regular bathroom, there's a handicap stall. So I don't know how one would go about opening the door to get into the bathroom.
I don't even remember, were there buttons to push to get, if you're on deck 11? I think when you start opening the door, it automatically opened, but I can't remember if there was buttons or not.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not something that I really paid attention to. Yeah. I know by law, the boat needs to be handicap accessible, so I would say yes in that sense, but I don't know how easy it would be.
Right.
And like I said, I only witnessed the one interaction, but the woman did say, I have no idea what I would do if you weren't here, so.
Now, I heard a lot of people talking about the elevators on this ship versus the elevators on other cruises. They're only on the two ends of the ship. There's really no midship on the Wish, so they usually have a third set of elevators, but there's more. Like, there was like 8 on each side, so if you've been on other Disney cruises, it's a little bit different, but I think everything's wide enough. Like, the space on the ship, like, I was actually really impressed with. I don't know how it would be for the room. I can't really speak to that. There is a step up for the bathrooms.
At least in our rooms, there might be
That's very true.
Rooms.
That's very true. So we can't really fully answer that question. But definitely do some research on that. It's Disney though, so I think they have it all.
Well, and by law you have to.
By law, yeah.
So I just don't know how. Even though it would be handicap accessible, I don't know how easy and how enjoyable it would be.
Right. Was the Aquamouse really fun? It looked short. It was really fun.
It was short, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I don't know, like, if you would want it to be too long either. Right. But it was great. It's definitely slow in the beginning when you're with the screens. That was the only part I didn't like because you feel like the belt on your butt. That was the one part I wasn't, like, thrilled with. But once you get past the screens, so fun.
It's a lot of fun. It is short, so I don't know how long I would wait online. I would definitely go at like off-peak times to ride it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
There was no line when we were there, but our ship was only 40% occupancy. So I'm assuming there is going to be lines for it because it is really fun, and yeah. And I can't compare. A lot of you asked to compare it to the Aqueduct. I can't. I've never been on it, so sorry. What were your thoughts on Castaway? Gonna be completely honest with you guys. We were on Castaway for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I had to work in the day. Everyone was off the ship. I had to do my show, which was Jodie Benson sang to me. I'm okay with that. And then when like our show was over, we had to go back upstairs. My boss forgot wires. Like, then we saw Daisy. We got distracted. By the time we got to Castaway, it was like the heat of the day. We didn't know where we were going.
The lunch rush was also already over. So I feel like the food that we got was not great.
It wasn't great. I was very, like, I'm a type 1 diabetic. My glucose was low. There was a lot against us. And it was the hottest temperature I've ever felt in my life.
I've never felt heat like that in my life.
Shout out to those fans again. Guys, I'm going to leave a link for them below because they really, both in Walt Disney World and Castaway and on the ship, they saved our lives. But we weren't on it very long. We shopped. We went to all the stores. The merchandise, I've heard stories about, it's very hit or miss. A lot of the things we wanted, they didn't have our size or wasn't available. We still bought stuff. The food, like my sister said, wasn't the most spectacular thing we ate that trip. We got to go in the water, which was awesome.
The water was amazing. I do wish we had more time to do, like, some things like snorkeling and stuff. So we really didn't have time for any of that, but I would absolutely go back 100%.
Oh, 100%. And we, like, fully plan on it and, like, making the most of Castaway because we only saw probably, like, a quarter to a half of it. Yeah. So, like, we didn't go to Serenity Bay. So I don't know that we're the people to tell you how Castaway is because we were there for maybe 2 hours tops and, like, we didn't want to get out of the water. I will say that. But we also knew we had to pack for that night.
Yes, there's a lot we still had to do.
Yeah, and like we really, really wanted to see Chip and Dale and their outfits, which is that's the thing. No characters were on Castaway when we were there. I don't know if it's because it was media, but and like we had some media opportunities on Castaway too, so we did that. But actually, Mickey and Minnie were there. We just didn't see them because they were in the background of that video. Right. But so we're not really. We can't really answer that question about Castaway. Okay, this is so funny to me that this is what you guys thought. What was the favorite thing you got on the ship and anything you regret not buying? So many people asked about merchandise, which it was a thrill getting to walk into a store with all cruise line merch. But I will say, and did you notice this too? Most of the merch was Disney Wish specific and not Disney Cruise Line. Yeah. Because like I wanted to get like the Disney Cruise Line hoodie.
Right. Same.
Everything was Wish.
Same.
Which I don't know if it's because it's the new ship or what. And they didn't have everything. Like there's a t-shirt wall in Dory's Forget-Me-Nots. They had maybe 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 of them.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of stuff, and then the stuff that they did have, sizing was hard, and
selling out.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I
think my favorite thing that I got so far I got a Turvis on Castaway, and I use it every day.
Yeah, and I think you were, like, skeptical about that, too, right?
Yeah.
Or you didn't know which Turvis?
I didn't know which Turvis I wanted. I really wanted the Disney Cruise Line one, but the one that listed all the ships didn't have Wish on it.
Yeah, that was weird. The one I got was Disney Cruise Line specific with the anchors, but that was the only one. And I had to get it because of the whole anchor thing. Yeah. But I think aside from, like, the ears and stuff, there wasn't anything, like, Disney Cruise. Like, I really wanted just a Disney Cruise Line shirt, which, look, I got a lot of Wish shirts, and I love them. I'm, like, looking at my pictures, my Goofy and my Little Mermaid. I'm like, I can't really even compare the merchandise to those signed images. But if you guys want to see any of the like, I genuinely love all the merch we got. So my haul will be, again, in the description box below. Anything you regret not getting? Like, was there something you wanted? Maybe it was too much money? Or...
Oh, yeah, sure. The inaugural Dooney and Burke bag. The really big one. But it was like $350, and that just wasn't going to happen. But if money was an object, that would definitely be my own.
They only had one.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we walked away, somebody got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what my favorite merch is? I will say, honestly, the Alex and Ani you got me. Because that was very, very special. Of course there was stuff I wanted to get. There was, like, a couple of, like, t-shirts and stuff, but I'm good with the stuff that I got. Maybe a bigger photo album. Because there was no number of how many photos it held, but it was the inaugural Wish one, so I bought it. Fun fact, only 200, and I printed 500 pictures out, so yeah, I'd get the bigger one. What were your highlights or things on the Wish that you saw? Seize the Adventure with Goofy. You guys, that was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. Goofy's a star. And he sings Go With the Flow from Finding Nemo the Musical. Go the Distance with Hercules. Did he sing Let It Go? Oh, now I can't remember. So. He sang with Tiana. Like, it was a great show. That was really special. Definitely meeting Jodie Benson and Bill Farmer. The kids clubs, I wish we had more time.
I wish I was a kid.
I wish, like, if we went back on the Wish... Melissa and I will build a roller coaster, because that was like, we were pressed for time because we had to go for an interview, because someone said, like, why didn't you see, like, the Marvel thing? We were on a schedule.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't. I would have loved to, trust me. 1923 is a big highlight.
Absolutely. Just the ship in general.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
There's so many little touches and details every corner you turn.
Yeah.
And I think those little touches are what did it for me.
Yeah. I will say one thing that I really would like to do if we go back is, like, hang out at the bayou.
Definitely.
Because we would pass that every night. I'm like, I wish we had time. And that was another thing, too. Like, we went to bed, like, after the shows and stuff, we went to bed early because we had to be up early for work. It wasn't, like, a vacation. But, like, in a way, it was cooler than a vacation. Yes. So, if that makes any sense. Is there anything you want to add about the Disney Wish that you think everyone should know about, or?
I don't know. I feel like we had such a different experience than most people would have. So, it's not even fair for me to say anything about it because it's just, like, it's going to be so different for everyone else. I will say, though, it was amazing to be on an inaugural sailing, but I do think that if you go now, you will have a better experience. Our experience was amazing and fantastic, but I do think that all of the kinks will be worked out and everything will be completed and done, so you'll get to experience it complete and the way it's intended to be.
I also feel like, so we were only on a 3-night cruise, and I think most of them on the Wish are 4-night. I think that extra day would make a difference.
Yes.
Because, like, there was so much of the ship we did not get a chance to see. If they have open houses, try to take advantage of them. Definitely the kids club one. If there's no one staying in the tower suite, we actually, I didn't include it in the vlogs because we walked up and then it was, like, under construction, so we had to go back. And then we were scheduled for other things. Like, I think we had to be in the Grand Hall or, like, the sweet shop or whatever. That was the thing too. Like, we didn't even get to have anything at the sweet shop because the schedule. It was like, what you guys didn't see is right after we filmed that, we had to be on the Aqua Mouse because they had to film me on the Aqua Mouse. So we had to go back to the room, change. It was a whirlwind.
I take advantage of all the food too. I mean, I feel like I didn't get to do that. We didn't get to go in the pools. Like, there's so much that we didn't get to do.
I think a big tip is buy the photo package before you get on the ship, because it will be cheaper. That was not an option for us. We did buy the photo package, and if I'm being honest, that might be the favorite thing that I bought, because those pictures are wonderful. Take advantage of all the backdrops they set up with the characters, because even though sometimes they'll take pictures on your phone, the difference between the phone and their camera, there's a big difference.
The lighting quality is
it's amazing. Yeah. So I think we would have taken advantage of that more. Like, because the first night they had backdrops, we were like, well, we're not going to buy it. And then all of a sudden we started taking all these pictures, and it was like, we're going to buy it.
Yeah.
Because they just, they rope off the staircases for you. Because really, I saw a lot of people throughout the day trying to get pictures with the slippers, but there's always people in the background. You won't have that with the professional photographers. And, they were all extremely nice.
Yeah.
So I will say that. Also, pay attention to the app, because that's how we knew what time the characters are going to be out. It's not a big publicized thing. So if you're into that, if you're into characters and showtimes, definitely pay attention to that. I don't know if I have any other advice. I mean, go. If you can, and you have the opportunity.
Everything on the menu.
Yeah, why not? Try a little bit of everything, for sure. We would love to do another one. Fun fact. We were actually invited on another one, but I'm not going to tell you why, but at that same exact time, Disney invited us on something else. So we will have that announcement video coming soon. I'm getting goosebumps saying it again. This is great. This year has been wild. So make sure you are subscribed. We've got more giveaways on the way, probably more hauls on the way. We've got 3 epic adventures coming in September. That's all I'm going to say. And my sister's coming with me. So again, thank you to Disney for inviting us on the Wish. It really was. I still can't believe we went on a Disney cruise.
I know.
And it was before the general public. Amazing. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Like I said, all those videos I mentioned are going to be in the description box below. And we will talk to you guys really soon.
I'm Melissa K.
And I'm Christina K. Have a Disney day.